having me.
Welcome to another episode of the Popko Project Podcast. Today I'm joined by Gerry from In a Perfect Sky. What's up, mate?
Dude, I'm great. How are you?
Man, I've been better. I've been better. Little crazy night. Crazy night. Uh Child's got pneumonia, then right before bed she decided she's gonna have a allergic reaction to our cat. So I
Ooh,
had to run to the pharmacy, which not a lot of places are open right now. It's only when I did that it was like 9:15.
oh,
So
wow.
so I appreciate you working with me here.
Anytime. Can I tell you a quick allergy story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, it was the day I found out that I was allergic to avocados. Uh, because
Really?
when I was a kid, I remember I was at a friend's house, and what happened was we were doing like a school project, and then after we were done, they asked me if I want to stay for dinner. And I was like, yeah, sure. And um, I remember one of the things they had, it had like avocados. I'm like, sure, I'll try it. And then I just remember, I just start itching. And, one thing about me is that like I'm always like when I was very young, I was always afraid to like I always had really good manners when I was in other people's homes.
Hmm.
So I was kind of afraid to say anything because I was like, oh, my mom's gonna find out. She's gonna be so mad at me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, yep, yep, these are really good, really good. That was how I found out I was allergic to avocados.
I don't think I've ever heard of an avocado allergy.
I, I, it's unfortunate because it's like I can't have guac.
No, you can't. That's a
I
shame.
can't. So every
Oh,
time whenever I go to El Rey's and Wilkes-Barre, like whenever I see them like make the guac because they have like the station that comes around, they like make it,
oh yeah, fresh.
it like fresh right in front of you. It's
Mm.
like, oh, maybe I'll risk it.
Yeah. Let's test it. How long ago was that? That was probably what, 10 years ago?
Oh,
More?
probably more. I was,
Yeah.
I
Maybe you
was,
grew
yeah,
out of it.
I was like in seventh, eighth grade, I think.
Maybe you grew out of it though. Try
Yeah.
it.
All
Why
right.
why deprive yourself of guac?
Yeah.
And you don't
I'll give,
maybe you don't have to. You do grow out of allergies.
yeah, I'll give it a try.
So my daughter's allergic to cats.
I have four cats.
Yeah, well, we have one, and we've had a cat since 2015, and she was born in 2022. So we weren't going to get rid of the cat per se. She was
Yeah.
like not like majorly allergic because the cat obviously she's 3 years old, so she's been on the cat for the past 3 years. She's accustomed to it, but she decided she wanted to give the cat a kiss before bed, and her lip just blew up.
Oh,
So,
oh, wow. Well,
but
I hope she,
We're not here to talk
hope
about
she's okay.
allergies. Yeah, she'll be fine. We're not here to talk about allergies. We're here to talk about a new EP.
Yes.
It came out December 12th.
Yep.
So if you're listening to this, if you made it this far into the podcast and you're tired of hearing us talk about allergies, go stream the new EP from In a Perfect Sky. Maybe someday I'll let go. And then come back and listen to this. But yeah, it's exciting, man. The second one, I didn't know you had this was the second one. I know you had songs out. I didn't know you had
Yeah.
an EP released already. So that's cool.
Yeah. So the first EP we put out, it was March of last year, March of 2024. The first EP is called uh, This Ride Called Life. And during that time, me and John, it was the first time we did like touring. I use that term loosely because it's like it was like pretty much like four weekenders in a row.
Hmm.
But like we went to Boston, we went to Connecticut, um, we went to somewhere near DC. So like we just kind of like actually kind of like expanded our reach on like where the place shows. So like we kind of had like this big celebratory thing where it's like, you know what, it's our first EP. Let's just go all out and play all these cool shows. And um, so like for the second EP, it was that kind of thing where it's like, let's take it a little easier this time around and like just really just kind of like focus on have this out and kind of just to do like one. We're going to be doing one EP release show, and it's going to be at Pilgrim Brewing in Pottsville. And we figured this time around, we're just let's just keep the release simple and I'm really, it's, it's really fun. I'm really excited.
Yeah, at least when you said tour, you were going to different states. There's sometimes bands say they're on tour and it's like they're playing a show 10 minutes from their house. So at least, I mean, yeah, some weekenders here, but I mean, at least
Yeah.
you're expanding out to different cities and different states, and so that's cool.
Oh yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Like, yeah, I was eager. Me and John, we've been eager to doing that sort of thing. So we figured, let's make it special, and we're hoping in 2026, we're hoping to hopefully do that again.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the band. It's John, and he people might know him. He was formerly in Send Request and Tori V and the Karma, and then you were in Stay Loud and also formerly of Tori V and the Karma. How did you guys kind of get together from different bands
Yeah,
and come together to form this project?
yeah, no, we've been friends now for uh, wow, over 10 years now. We
Time flies.
met like we met in back in 2014. He was still in Center Quest, and like I remember, it was like an afternoon show at what's the place called? Can't remember the name of the club. It's on the King's campus. Um, I can't remember what it was called, but there was like a club there, and I remember they played a show there at like a Sunday afternoon, and that was when I first met John. And we went to Luzerne County Community College together, and then just kind of came close there. And just we both like the same music. We both love pop punk. We love Newfound Glory and like Green Day and all that stuff. And when he was doing Center Quest, I was doing Stay Loud. So it's that kind of thing where just that camaraderie. We just kind of like we were very close because of that. So uh, when Tori and the Karma was starting, because I remember he was the first person that Tori asked, and then they asked me to join, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, I get to play with John. I get actually playing a band with John. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And in that band, I played bass. And then um, when I kind of had that moment where I decided to leave Stay Loud and wanted to do In a Perfect Sky, I I wanted to keep it simple and just be a two-piece duo. And I figured, I'll sing and play guitar, and then, I know a drummer, which is John. And so after we both left Tori and the Karma, that was when, I decided, like, hey, man, you want to be a part of this? And, here we are now. Like, it feels good to, you know, because like me and him we became so close, and then it's like, dang, I wish we get to play in a band together. And it was just that small, gradual thing where we eventually did play in a band together, and now we're in our own band together. So it's like what's that saying? The stars finally aligned.
Yeah. Yeah. And tell me a little bit about the music that In a Perfect Sky does.
It's acoustic, emo, indie. Like it's kind of my version of Dashboard Confessional.
Okay.
There's a band I really like called This Wildlife,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those guys are
Yeah. I
phenomenal.
love
And
those guys.
they're a some like basically, I'll be honest, like I think when I first heard of them and saw their music videos and saw their shows, I was just like, I want to do exactly like what they do. They're a two piece, and they're just similar to me. They're very influenced by Blink and Yellowcard and like all this pop punk stuff, but they're writing more Mumford and Sons acoustic kind of stuff. And because I kind of related to that, because I listen to a lot of the Warped Tour pop punk stuff, but when I write, I'm like more acoustic, mellow kind of stuff. So when I found This Wildlife, I'm just like, oh wow, okay, I think I could try something like that. So like Imperfect Sky is kind of like my version of like those two bands, and I'll even throw in maybe even like my version of like Turnover or Secondhand Serenade,
Yeah.
like those kind of bands, and I'm just really loving it.
I'm glad you mentioned this Wildlife because I haven't listened to them in a long time. I forgot about that band, so I wrote that down to
Nice.
go back and, and check out. Um, but so talk about some of the content of the music you guys create.
Like so, um, we so
'Cause it's
like
all
how
very, it's like it's emotional, right? And a lot of the
yeah.
song titles, like I told you, I had a whole thing written down and I failed to. I'm a mess tonight. I apologize.
No, you're good.
Um, but even like the title of this new EP, maybe someday I'll let go.
Yeah. So like
Uh,
a lot of this, it's like the songwriting is like very personal, and it's that kind of thing where because like I mentioned before, um, when I write music, because even like when I was still in Stay Loud, because I remember when we'd be writing for like a new album, and like we'd be all home and like trying to brainstorm ideas. But then, the ideas that I brainstorm are all like more mellow acoustic kind of stuff. And I, when I decided to kind of like, okay, let me delve into this and see where it goes, like, it's like once I actually like kind of embraced that kind of sound, like all the more like emotional lyrics that I write and stuff just kind of poured out. And I'm like, where did that come from? So like it it just kind of felt like a sign to me, like, maybe I should, kind of like let this make this be my thing. And yeah, like a lot of the songs are very, personal for me. Like, and they revolve around all sorts of things between, I don't know, like depression, past relationships, just whatever I'm feeling at the time, and very reflective type of songwriting.
just living life,
Yeah,
dealing with all the shit that we have to
yeah,
go through on this crazy ride. Well, I love that. I mean, like, like it's music that people can relate to,
yeah.
lyrically, emotionally, all that kind of stuff. So, how has your music been received so far? I mean, like, the first EP, you've been dropping some singles
Yeah.
recently. I think you just released a single on November 21st, I want to say.
Afterthought. Yep.
Afterthought.
Yep.
How has the reception been to this new project?
Pretty good so far. Like it's that kind of thing, after, being known for, playing in Stay Loud and Tori Karma, doing more rock oriented kind of stuff, to now doing more mellow, laid back kind of acoustic music, and me singing, because, the past bands, I was just a guitar player or bass player. So now, being how different it is, it's that kind of thing where it's like, huh, that was unexpected.
Hmm.
Like I remember, like whenever I tell people about In a Perfect Sky, like it's that kind of thing where it's like I always tell them like, oh yeah, if you like chill acoustic music, then I think you might like it. And then the amount of times like someone would tell me like yeah, I was like chilling, just drinking some nice warm hot tea, just really vibing with it. And then so whenever I hear stuff like that, I'm like, nice. I love that you were just chilling on like a Sunday, drinking your tea, listening to my music. So that's a good feeling.
Yeah. Is this your first time in a band singing?
Yes. I Yeah, yeah, this is my first time being a lead singer, frontman, whatever you want to call it.
What was that like? I mean, you were in bands that you were, the bass player, you're kind of like I'll say like quote unquote behind the scenes, like
Yeah.
you're not the the focal point like a lead singer is. What was that transition like for you?
Um I was very nervous. Because it's like, before, and I feel bad. I think I owe Tori an apology, because like I remember, we'd be prepping for a show, and River Street Jazz Cafe, for example, they because like the people there are so nice, they'll make food for the bands. So like we're in the back, and they give out food. Me, John, uh Anthony was still in the band at the time. The three of us were like, yo, we're chowing down. And it's like, come on, Tori, come and eat. And she's like, no, guys, I can't, because she has to sing.
Right.
And then we're you know making fun of her and stuff, like, oh, okay, fine. But here I am now. Like, oh yeah, no, I have to really be conscious about that. I don't want to be bloated or feeling raspy when I'm up there. So now it's like I have to be really like conscious about that.
Yeah.
Like, I'll drink hot tea.
I say
Like
drink
now,
hot tea.
yeah, like nowadays, like I have like I never really had a routine before shows. Obviously I'll practice and stuff, but like other than that, like sometimes it's literally just I just kind of get up and go. But now I kind of tell myself not to eat within a certain amount of time before a show.
Hmm.
So because like I don't want to deal with any bloatedness or my voice getting a little raspy sounding or whatever. So it's like, okay, now I actually have to think up routines. And then I'll be honest, because when I first started playing music, I wanted to be a lead singer, because like my idols are Ryan Key of Yellowcard, Billy Joe Armstrong, like all lead singers.
Yeah.
So like just for the longest time, I'm like, oh, I'd love to do that, but like I just always had like that self consciousness of wanting to be the singer, have that spotlight on you. So when it came time to do this, like I was really like kind of questioning myself, like do I really want to put myself out there like this? And so I was like really thinking hard about it. And at this point, when In a Perfect Sky officially launched, I had just turned 30, and I figured, you know what, the hell of it, I'm just gonna go out there and do it. If I'm singing off key most of the time, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna go out there and have fun. And now I feel like I'll be honest, I still do get nervous here and there,
Sure.
but at the end of the day, it's like once I hit the first chord of the song, it's like all that just kind of goes away.
That's good. Yeah, I can't imagine, like I said, you go from being the bass player and the focus isn't on you. And you can screw up a bass line, I feel like, but I feel like if you're the singer and you're screwing up, people notice that.
Hmm. And then like another thing, like um, I didn't have to worry about this before, but like sometimes when the show gets loud, like it's that kind of thing where I could, like, when I'm playing guitar, when I'm just playing guitar or just playing bass, I was able to kind of like, okay, I can pinpoint where I am in the song, but then now add singing to that. And if, I can't hear myself, then I start freaking out in my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, I am probably singing off key. This sounds bad. And then thankfully, sometimes, when I look at people's Instagram stories when they're, filming the show, I would like anxiously, like, kind of like put out to my ear and I'm listening and I'm like, oh, okay, good, good, good. I sounded good then.
Yeah.
All right, good. I'm all right. But it's that
Yeah.
kind of thing. I want to make sure I'm good in the moment rather than, you know, later on.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to say anyone can go and record a song, but to a degree, there's so much technology now where you could go into a studio and if you were terrible, you could play with those sounds and kind of mask uh,
Yeah.
things you want to. But when you're live, it's live.
Like that's why I'm very thankful. So like when I recorded the songs, so I recorded them at Novo Studios. Eric Novroski,
Oh hell yeah,
love you, but love you, Eric. Um, like he would make sure like the amount of times like I'd be doing so many takes, vocal takes, and I love that. It's like I'm happy that like Eric is like making sure that like, hey, let's before we do any like reverb or any of that stuff on your voice, let's make sure that you could at least get it down raw. So like it's a good feeling when I do get that take and it's like, oh, okay, so that was the good one. So like Eric, like I thank Eric so much for that guidance whenever we record music.
Yeah, what was that process like? I hear a lot about Eric. He's been on the show before too. He's been doing a lot of cool things. He produced the Sutliff album. I'm not sure if you heard that or not. I think he did both of them, but they were
Yeah,
talking about the the additions to some of those songs. Whether it was, I think it was like keys dropping on a table. It just like, what was it like working with him in your process?
I love working with him. I've known, similar to John, I've now known him for like over 10 years as well. And it's really inspiring seeing his studio, just from the, like, seeing the growth of his studio. Cause I still remember, we briefly, very briefly, we had a band together called Malt Liquor Factory. It was me, Eric, James Slattery, the drummer of Toothless, and our old buddy. His name is Alex O'Brien, and we it was kind of like a John Mayer, Dave Matthews Band kind of band. And like I still remember seeing Eric telling Alex, like, the first time we met him, like, I saw, because we had a class together with him, and I remember Eric saying, like, yeah, man, I'm building up a studio, I'm looking for some potential clients. So like seeing him in those like small steps, and then now having, like, his own studio doing his thing, it's like really inspiring to see, like, oh my gosh, I still remember when your studio was in your parents' basement, and now
Hmm.
he's got his own full studio. And I before In a Perfect Sky, I already worked with him on the Sophomore Slump album with Stay Loud. So like after we did that album, like I knew for a fact that, like, okay, whether it's with Stay Loud or if I'm doing something else, I knew for a fact that, like, okay, I'm gonna still want to work with Eric. And he's just the most patient person ever. Like, just, the moment you hit record, it's like all of a sudden I forget how to play guitar. So it's like, sorry man, give me a second. I'll get this. And he sticks with you the whole way through. And like, he really, like, he lets you, um it's the client's song. He lets, he makes sure that he would make sure that, I'm doing what it is that I want out of the song. But then he will still give, like, his 2 cents. And usually every time he does give his 2 cents, it's always something really good
Hmm.
that makes the song even better. So like I I praise, and I'm not just saying that because he's my friend, but like I legit think he's like one of the best, and like so honored to work with him. He um when it comes to, like, I would always have like these ideas, and like I don't know how to explain the ideas.
Hmm.
And so like I would like explain it to him, like, oh, I kind of want this to go like this. That doesn't make any sense, I know. And then he's like, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's like, perfect. So like he's amazing.
Yeah, those guys are amazing, and I don't think I really appreciated the importance of those guys and girls even until I started talking to more musicians and even talking to some of the production studios and things like that. Um, what a powerful it's so important to understand that as talented as you are, you're not the most talented person in the world, and it's okay to like take your stuff to a place like that and take constructive criticism, um, let them kind of tweak things and add pieces to stuff to make it better.
Yeah.
It's just really cool.
Oh yeah, no, the collaboration is really good.
And I feel like he's had his hands on a lot of this local music scene that we have here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Um, and I feel like the area that we have is very collaborative. Um, just like you said, like you were in Stay Loud, Tori being the Karma, you're working with Eric. Um, I'm sure you know Andrew from also Send Request, Andrew Blank.
Yep.
We had this cool little community. So talk to me about how important you think that is, being part of that scene, going out and supporting the other
Yeah.
artists, working collaboratively. Yeah, how important is that?
Oh, very important. Like, it's amazing just how connected everyone feels, even when you don't know that person. Like, it kind of like an example I'll use, Ed Kuzo of
Hmm.
University Drive. I remember it's that kind of thing where I love what University Drive does, and like everything Ed does. And like I remember, like, this is still when I was like in Stay Loud and Tori Karma. Like, at this point I'd never met him, but like for like 4 or 5 years at this point, you know, I've seen the stuff that he's done, he's seen the stuff that I've done. So then, like, the first time we actually met each other in person at the V spot for one of the ECMCs, like, it's our first time actually seeing each other in person, meeting each other, but like we were talking and as if we've known each other for so long. So I feel like that's how I feel with like so many musicians in the area, where it's like, I see what you guys are doing, and then like when you meet and talk, it's like, why does it feel like we went to school together? Like, there's like just that good sense of unity,
Yeah.
just all around. Like, the amount of, like, I feel bad when I lose track of the amount of musicians that I meet around here. Like, there's and I even feel bad whenever I meet someone that has been around as long as I have, and it's like, how have we not crossed paths?
Hmm.
So like it's it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I always say that I would put this area's music scene up against anyone across the country. I
Oh
really
yeah.
would. I strongly believe in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't been to a ton of different. I mean, I've traveled, but I mean, if I were to tell you I went out to see music in these different cities, I'd be lying to you. But like, I am that confident though that this area has some of the best musicians. Um, and that's why I started this podcast because I want to like I'm trying to like help
Yeah.
um expose that. I mean, it's just some of the stuff out of here is just. I mean, you mentioned Ed from University Drive, and that band is amazing. You said Toothless and So Much Hope Buried, Send Request, James Barrett. I mean, the list goes on. And you guys are part of that too. It's just like how does I don't even know. Is it because we have more access to recording studios, or it's easier to get that kind of stuff done as opposed to like 20 years ago, and like you had to have like tons of money to even like step foot in a studio. I don't know what it is, but it's incredible, this area.
It is. Like, I mean, definitely. I mean, it sounds generic, but like definitely social media
Hmm.
definitely comes in handy, because like, you know without that, it's that kind of thing, doing it the old school way of like, going to like a record store and like seeing a bulletin board with all these flyers for all these like upcoming shows and stuff.
I missed that
So
though.
yeah, that like that's sometimes, because like sometimes I really wish I grew up in that time, to that time of discovering music,
Yeah.
because like I think I was like 14 or 15 when I got MySpace for the first time. So like, yeah, I was that generation that by the time I became a teenager, that was when social media just really started to kind of take over.
Yeah. What was the first album you ever bought? Do you remember?
Lights and Sounds by Yellowcard.
Have you heard the new record? I'm sure you have.
Yes, I um my Spotify Wrapped, what,
Yes.
what it's so what's really cool about this year's Spotify Wrapped, there's a segment where it it kept on file certain days
Yes.
where like landmark things. So like the one time, so like Derek Whibley of Sum 41, he did a memoir, and I listened to that entire the entire audiobook like in one day. Like, I was playing Marvel Rivals while that was playing, and like that came up saying, on this day you was your biggest day for an audiobook? And I'm like, that was the Derek Whibley book.
Mm-hmm.
So it mentions all these things. Like I went on vacation with my family and it said from this time to this time, you listen to all this. And I'm like, what was I do? Oh, I was driving back from Ocean City. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. So on October 10th, when that album came out, it said your biggest record, your biggest longest streak of listening to Yellowcard, and I'm like, oh, that's when Better Days came out. I had that on loop. It was, I love the record. It's really good.
Yeah, produced by Travis Barker. He also
Yes.
does drums on that record too. I think there's a guest appearance by Avril Lavigne, I want to say too.
Yeah.
Uh, I only know these things because I work for Fuzz 96.1. We play a lot of Yellowcard, new stuff and old stuff. Um, I had not heard the new record in full, and I feel bad about that because I am also a huge Yellowcard fan. I remember being in Virginia in 2004, which was I think a year after their their
That
big record Ocean Avenue came out.
so yeah, 2004. Yeah, that was when the single Ocean Avenue became big. So yeah, that was when I first heard of them when it was all over MTV.
Yeah,
Man, that's
I,
the breakout era.
yeah, and I listened to that record, that song at least a lot on that trip. But I mean, dude, I'm looking at it now actually. There's a lot like they have a lot of great albums. One of my favorite albums was from 2014, Lift the Sail.
Yes, that's it's that album where I got the name "In a Perfect Sky" from.
Oh, really?
On the song "California," there's a line, "Where the sun sets in a perfect sky. I want to
No
be in
way.
California tonight."
That's so
So
funny.
I always, that line always kind of stuck out to me, and I'm like, in a perfect sky. Originally, I was just gonna call it a perfect sky, but I remember when when you start a band, it's obviously it's good to make sure that no one else has that name. And there's a band from like Netherlands, I think, I can't remember, but they're just called Perfect Sky, and they were like more of like a hardcore band. So I figured, well, we're all the way here in the States. We're an acoustic band, and then I figured in a perfect sky, okay, there's that much of a difference. I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I like
So
that.
and also it's funny because like when I pitched the idea to John, I also realized it's a nice play in words whenever we perform. Hey guys, this is John. I'm Gerry, and we're in a perfect sky. So like it's like we're saying like we're in a
Right,
perfect sky. So
right,
it's like oh actually that's a nice plain word. So I was like
mhm,
okay we'll keep the in.
right. I like that.
So yeah no
That's so funny.
the
Like
Live to Sail album, the California. That's where I got the line from.
the
But
last the last track, yeah. That's so. It's like we rehearsed that to get into the name of the band. That's amazing. I love when
hey,
that happens organically. But yeah, that's one of my favorites. I remember that. Like even the opening track, it's just I think
the
it's just music.
instrumental
Yeah, it's just music.
convocation.
Yep. Yeah, that's just that was like I just felt like I felt something when I was like I'm like what are we doing? Like where are we gonna go here? And it just like right into the next track, and it was just like okay, it didn't stop. It was just hit after hit, and not a radio friendly way, um, but for me it was like this album front to back is just
It's definitely their most personal album. One of my favorite things is that during the breakup period, when Yellowcard was gone, Ryan Key he had a Twitch channel and he did like a listen through of all the Yellowcard records. So when he got to the Lift the Sail record, that one he had a lot to say because that one for him is his favorite album,
hmm,
and it's also like he said like lyrically his most personal, and it's just like in like listening like reading those lyrics, it's like okay yeah no there is clearly something very different with these lyrics compared to what they would normally write. So it's like, okay, yeah, no, like there's a reason why this album just it feels different in all the best ways.
did I see you guys? Maybe I saw you guys were at a show of his, like, doing a solo show, or did you guys open for him?
When back in 2019 when I was still in Stay Loud, we me and Chris, we did an acoustic show. Um, where was it? Um, I hate that I can't remember the name of the venue. It's unfortunately no longer around, but in Easton, down in Easton, um,
Oh, was it
One Center Square.
one center square? Yeah.
So they were hosting an emo night with him as the
Oh,
DJ,
okay.
and they wanted acoustic openers, and then they well, actually, I kind of have John and CenterQuest to thank for that because they were originally offered, but they couldn't, and they kind of like John and Andrew kind of told me like, "Yo, like you guys, I'm sure you guys would be down for it." And then we spoke with the promoter, and then we got on it, and that was, and what was even cooler about that show was on that show happened on May 4th, 2019. May 4th is Star Wars Day,
Mm.
and I'm a huge like I have the Dagobah background, like
Okay.
like I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and as is Ryan Key. So I'm like, oh man, this it was just meant. This show was like that show was
Meant to be.
it was emotionally a satisfying show. Like I just remember, I remember I was like on the side of the stage, and then because there were a couple of other openers, and I remember I was on the side, just kind of like tuning my guitar, just kind of getting ready, and then in comes Ryan, and I'm like, holy crap! Like there he is. He was going to go to the backstage, and I'm next, and in order to get to the backstage, you had to actually walk up the stairs to the stage, and I was standing there. So I remember he passed by me while I was like tuning my guitar, and I said hi to him, and like we shook hands, and I'm like, I shook Ryan's hand
Yeah.
while I was tuning my guitar to go up on stage to play a show right before him. Like it was, yeah, that's one of those moments I'll never forget. And then I had two more opportunities later that summer to open for him because he did like a summer tour, and um I forgot to mention this was his solo
Hmm.
era because
Yeah.
Yellowcard was broken up. He came to Harrisburg, HMAC.
Yep.
He was playing a show there, and I couldn't get Stay Loud to play. Um, so I'm just like, oh god, but like the opportunity was there. It was the same promoter from the first show, and he was like, "Is there anyone to get to play with you?" So uh, Kyle, to my buddy Kyle Taylor, formerly of Glow November,
Oh, great band.
I um like I remember I was talking to him, and I'm like, "Hey man, is there any way that we could like figure something out, like 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 do like some acoustic thing?" And then him and two of our buddies, we quickly got together, and like we did a bunch of acoustic emo pop punk cover songs, and we played that show, and that one was a pretty fun one. And then the day after that, this time with Chris again for under Stay Loud, we played at Stage West when Ryan was there, and then that one felt really good because whereas the first two shows, a bunch of my friends couldn't make it because it was a bit of a distance. This time around, it's like, okay, well, it's local. Y'all
Yep.
got no excuse. Y'all better be there. And yeah, no, that was those were shows that I'll never forget.
Well, I remember that for you. I remember I knew you were a huge fan, and when I saw that, I was like, I was so happy for you. Like that's just like one of those moments. Like that's what's
Thank you.
yeah, just like music in general, man. It's just these things that music does. Whether it's from listening to it and performing it, writing it, meeting people who are doing it. I just got to see Justin Furstenfeld again, uh, maybe 3 weeks ago at the Kirby Center. He's the lead singer
Nice.
for Blue October, one of my favorite bands. And it's one of those moments where I got to introduce them to the Kirby Center. This is
Oh,
like
that's
my
cool.
second time doing it, and I was running through there's like a tunnel under the Kirby, and I was running through, and I passed like their green room, and he's like, "Hey, hey, hey, wait! And I'm like, what, me? And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Come here. So he goes, it's so good to see you again. Like, oh my God. I didn't see you out because I went to the sound check too prior to that. He's like, I didn't see you out in the audience. Like, so good to see you. And he was actually, he had just sprayed some cologne. And he goes, I'm sorry for if it's overwhelming. I'm like, is it your cologne? Because he has a cologne line too. He goes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, come over here. And he's like showing me these different colognes. I'm like, I've been meaning to get your like buy your cologne because I'm a big like fragrance nut too.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, go up to the merch table, tell him take whatever you want. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, yeah, dude, on me. He goes, it's so good to
Oh,
see
that's
you.
amazing.
He's like, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, you want a picture with me? Like what? And then he goes, text that to me because we use my phone for it. He goes, text it to me. And I'm like, I'm just like in the moment. I'm like, holy shit! Like, what is happening here? And then I'm like, you know what? In my head, I'm not the guy that is like, oh, I have a podcast, or I do this, or I do that, or I'm on the radio. But I'm like, here's my shot because I wanted to do this when he was at the Sherman Theater back in March.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, listen, I know you don't do these kind of things, but I do a podcast. I said I've interviewed so I said like Verve Pipe, Everclear, the bands that he kind of like enter this like the scene in. He goes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. And I'm like, no way.
Oh, that's amazing.
So what? So I'm worried though that I took down his phone number wrong because so I texted him the photos that night, and then he goes, "Let me know when you get the cologne. Let me know you got it." So I texted him that I got the cologne. Obviously, he was on stage at that point. And then I waited like a week, maybe a week and a half, and I said, "Hey, hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with the crew and your family. Let me know if you want to do that podcast. I would love to set it up with you." He has not responded. So there's a few things that happen. A, he's busy. B, I got the wrong phone number. Or C, he gave me the wrong phone number. I don't I I don't know. I don't foresee him giving me the wrong number. But it was so like it was funny that night I was like this like your first date. Like your text like I'm like all right, I shot up a text like I don't want to respond too soon. Like
Yeah.
how long do you wait to do?
It's like you're sitting at the edge of the bed, like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, but like those moments, like that's
Yeah.
music and like the just all of it is just such an amazing thing, and I'm so thankful for. I don't perform music. I always say I couldn't even write a song if you asked me to. I'm just a huge fan. That's why I love doing stuff like this because like I just like kind of pushing myself into it somehow. But like music is such a powerful thing.
It is.
It has the power to change lives, in some cases save lives, um, and I don't think musicians ever think of that per se. Like they like they're creating because that's like what they were meant to do. It's what they love.
Yeah.
But it's so cool that like it goes so much further than that. It's
Yeah.
more than we're just like who they are and what they do. It's like it's so impactful.
Oh yeah, no, it's yeah, no, there's just nothing like it.
Yeah,
Like
what does it mean to
like
you as someone who
I
like writes and records and performs and it's been a huge part of your life and you know meeting guys like Ryan from Yellowcard and like what does music mean to you?
everything. Like it's that kind of thing where like I never because like when I started playing guitar, like I just never thought like, okay, well, let's see how far this goes. And then, I struggled. Like I struggled like learning how to play guitar and like once I finally actually figured out how to properly hold down chords, and actually being able to like learn over people's songs and kind of understand like, oh, so that's how they did that. Oh, okay, that's cool. Like once I started getting like that kind of behind the scenes understanding, like it just really just kind of expanded more for me. And like, I just really kind of like revolved like a lot of my decisions in life because of music. Like I used to like when I went to college, I originally went to college for business. I didn't know what I wanted to do as a major. Like I went for business, and I was not happy with it. And after my second year, I found out that LCC had I found out that they have a music recording program, and I was like, I want to do that. That sounds cool. Like I figured, like even if I don't get into music recording as like a career, I figured it would at least like open a door for me to meet people and like, you know, be able to do those things. And honestly, it was the best decision I ever made because I met Eric, I met John, I met basically everyone in my life that got me to where I am to do music. So like, um, you know, being able to, still do it, writing music, it's weird just how, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you know, trying to learn how to write a song, like, you don't really actually learn how to write a song. It's that kind of thing. You just kind of do it until it's like, oh, okay, that sounds very competent. So like, maybe someday there's maybe I still remember how my very first song goes. It is cringe, but maybe in the future,
Yeah, revisit it. Yeah, re-record
yeah,
it.
just be like, hey guys, look, just keep in mind this was written from the perspective of a 13-year-old. It's like, wow, the rhyming in this could have been better, but okay. But yeah, no, like, getting into music, just uh, all the music that I remember listening to, and then thinking like, man, I want to do that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I was always so fascinated by it because it's more than just like it was more than just listening to music. It's like I just remember kind of questioning like, oh, I hear an instrument in the background, but I don't know what that is. How did they do that? And like finding out that there's like more to songs than just what you initially hear.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know, I always just found that fascinating. And now like getting an understanding, and then heck, even with stuff like YouTube, watching videos of, hey, this is how I recorded this song in the studio back in the 90s. Like it's fascinating.
Yeah. What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
The future of In a Perfect Sky. I mean, is this, are you all in on this? Is this like, this is the project that you want to take to the next level, or is this just kind of something fun you do? Talk about uh, that.
Yeah, no, this is definitely like the thing I want to be doing. Now that I kind of like conquered like my self-conscious fear of like of getting up on stage and being the lead singer, it's like now it's like I want to keep doing it. And I know like I definitely want to take it to the next step, but I also try to remind myself to make sure I'm enjoying it.
Hmm.
And whether I'm playing in like the smallest places to barely anyone, at the end of the day, I want to make sure hey, we're having fun. And I'm thankful to say that I still am having fun doing this. And now that we have the new EP and get to play more new songs, it's like, all right, this is just getting even better.
Do you ever imagine this band growing to more members, or is this we're sticking with two people?
Yes. So me and John, um, we definitely talked about it. I know for a fact I wouldn't necessarily say official members, but like something we definitely plan on doing, especially after the new year, because a lot of the new songs off the new EP is a lot of these songs are more fuller band kind of songs. Our first EP, This Ride Called Life, that one, it's more acoustic and it doesn't have actual drums. For percussion, it's the cajon that's
Mhm.
being played, so it's much more like fully an acoustic album. And there's some like clean electric guitar stuff here and there, but at the end of the day, it is like fully like an acoustic EP. So this new EP, maybe someday I'll let go. It's more full band, so it's a lot more electric guitars, like clean electric guitars, but like, definitely a lot more energetic, you know, more like, dare I say, a little bit more pop rock
Okay.
style music. And we definitely have plans and hopes and plans to have a guitar player and a bass player with us. So something we do plan on doing is like maybe having um, members with us when needed. So like depending on the show,
Sure.
because like we do every once in a while play like the smaller kind of like coffee house
Yeah.
coffee shop type of shows, and like if like that, like me and John can handle ourselves, or I could even do it solo. But then there are those kind of shows where we would be playing with like pop punk bands or more fuller bands. So it's like, okay, maybe for this show we could have like a full four-piece band. So in a way, it kind of makes us a little adaptable going forward when it comes to these shows,
Yeah.
because it's really interesting because like we've played with bands that sound like us, like the more like we've played with like more folky indie kind of like Lumineers like type of bands. But then there are times where we'd be like opening for like hardcore bands, and it's like, oh, this is interesting. But again, it just kind of like makes us adaptable. And I think when we do like settle in on like having an additional members play with us, it's like it'll definitely open those doors of being able to play like those more full band shows, but
Yeah.
still play like the more smaller, intimate, acoustic type of shows.
Well, it's funny because a lot of bands, like full bands, will do like acoustic duo shows. You're kind of
Yeah,
the opposite of that. You're gonna do the acoustic duo type thing, and then you're gonna like have a full band for some things. So that's cool.
yeah. So yeah, no, we that's something we do plan on doing. Um, I mean, I won't say their names, but we do have two potential people that we've kind of been talking to, like, hey, like and trying to see if schedules can align and stuff and such.
Gotcha.
But it's definitely something to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
As a band that you're primarily, or you guys kind of are from NEPA, right?
Yep.
What is your favorite NEPA venue to play?
Ooh,
There's not many,
yeah,
right? Right?
that's hard. I mean, you know, Pilgrim Brewing in Pottsville, in a weird way, because that's like that's where, and that was the first In the Perfect Sky show. In a weird sort of way, like whenever we play there, it's like we almost kind of consider that a hometown show sometimes, and it's been kind of yeah, it's I miss Carl Hall, I miss the
Yeah.
Keys, like I miss a lot, I miss a lot of those places. I'm so happy. What is it? Blanking on the name. Union Vapes in
Yeah.
Dixon City. Like
Yeah.
I was so happy when I found out about that place, and then I just played there this past October, and like the people there are so cool, and it's it feels good to have that around. Um, I do miss. I haven't played at the V Spa in a while. I love going there.
That's the place to be.
Their chicken wings are really good.
I don't know if I've ever had them.
Like honestly, like they actually have really good food. Like their pizza and wings are actually pretty good. Like I feel like when it comes to music venues, it's like you can either have good music or good food. You can't have both. But the
Hmm.
V Spot has both.
Yeah. I mean, Vinny and Frank, I mean, they do a hell of a job there. Vinny's one of, Vinny and I have, I don't want to say recently, we've been very close, I guess you could say, for many years. I feel like become closer over the past couple years.
Yeah.
But what a funny motherfucker that guy is.
It's funny because just to show how cool of a guy he is, I remember um the only now I know after I left Stay Loud, I know they played there a couple more times, but when I was still in Stay Loud, um we only played there once. And that was back in like 2017, 2018. And then I didn't play there again until I joined until the Tori being the Karma days. And I just remember at this point, it's been years. I just remember going there, walking in, about to get set up, and then, Vinny just coming up to me, like saying hi to me, hugging me you know, I've been there like every single day. But at this point, it'd been like 3, 4 years since I last saw him.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I wish I had your memory.
He's a gem. I don't think
Yeah,
Frank realizes what a great partner he has in
yeah.
Vinny. I mean, Vinny is the face of the V spot. Yeah, you found it. They started doing social media videos. They used to be on the radio. They would do funny commercials like this back and forth banter
Okay.
with Frank and Vinny, and they were always hilarious. It was there was never a script. They would just come in. They knew like the entertainment for that week, but it was they would just like it was like just magic. Now Vinny's doing some videos on
Yeah.
social media. And they're very funny. Um, he's not doing radio, which is very unfortunate for me. So fuck you, Vinny. But I'm kidding.
You'll convince him. You'll
No, I won't. It's never gonna happen. It's never
if
gonna
we
happen.
if we rally the entire valley. We
Fuzz, fuzz,
Yeah,
fuzz,
just
fuzz, fuzz.
everyone just show up to the V spot, just like have the
Demand it.
signs thing, but like demand it. He'll give in.
Yeah, stop protesting politicians. Let's protest the V spot.
Yeah, there you go.
Come on, let's go.
Protest for Vinny to do radio
Yeah,
again. There you go.
make radio great again.
There you go.
You know what? I mean, what's that like for you guys? Because I mean, you've been. I've featured you on my show on Fuzz, and it was Alt 92.1 back in the day when you were Stay Loud. I've done those. You've probably been on the couple others that do a local show as well. What's that like hearing your song on the radio?
It's still a pretty cool feeling because, you know, when you listen to radio like your whole life, and like you kind of like imagine, man, what would it be like if I had a song on the radio? Like it's like I'll be honest, like when you premiered Names on a Tree, like I remember like I went to my car and to listen to it, and I'm just sitting there just like, yeah, no, this still feels really good. This
Yeah,
still I like I still get a smile from it, like that. I get to say I get to say I can hear my music on the radio. Like it's a good feeling.
yeah. I mean, radio still has its place, right? And
Yeah,
it's still this. What's cool about radio, I think, there's a couple things. One is, and this is not something that I ever said. It was actually said to me by somebody else, and I didn't think about it this way. But it's like, you're listening to it, and at the same time you're listening, there's however many other people also listening. You don't even think about that, and but it's happening, right? But also with my show, I don't I don't play just anything to play it. Like there have been artists that have sent me music that unfortunately is just trash. Whether it's just poorly recorded or whatever it might be. There
yeah,
are times where it's just garbage and I just won't play it. So I like to think that the music that I play on my show on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. on Fuzz, when you listen to that show, you're really going to hear the real talent that is from
yeah,
our area. Um, and I'm proud of it. I'm proud of that. I'm not
and I,
like, and I think for what that's worth, I think that's also good because there's other stations that will just I think will just well, it's local. I'll play it because that's what this show is. It's a local show, but like you still have to have some
yeah,
kind of like I don't know like barrier. You have to
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm thankful for all the times that you've featured my music, whether it's this Tori or
Yeah,
Stay Loud
you gotta send me
or
some of the new stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know if you remember this. I did part-time play bass for the Taxmen. So if ever you played the Beatles, just know, thank you.
I've never played the Taxman. I never did. Um, I forget who I was talking to. Damn it, they're in a different band too. And then the Taxman, and they're like, he's like, oh yeah, we're doing this, and I want to connect with you on that. And I said, yeah, for sure, let's do it.
Yeah.
And we never did, but never featured them. But yeah, I mean, I remember when I first launched that show because I launched a version of that show back in 2017 when it was Alt 92.1. And I'm like, I thought I had my finger on the pulse of like this scene. I'm like, I
Yeah.
know all the bands out there. I know who's good. I know what songs are good. And when we launched that and the submissions came through, I was like, I think I was introduced to Send Request that way.
Oh wow. Okay.
And I'm probably Stay Loud too.
Yeah.
It's just like these came in. I'm like, holy shit! Like this area just fucking kicks ass.
Yeah.
So
I if I dig deep enough in my closet, I think I still have an Alt Natives T-shirt, the one with the purple
hmm
uh on it.
I'll take your
I
fuzz.
I oh man, I used to wear that. That used to be like my when in doubt shirt. Like, I don't know what to wear. I'll pop that on. Like the amount of times I've worn that, playing shows. That was a good quality shirt. I need to find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what brand that was, but I'll get you a fuzz shirt.
There we go.
It's navy, and the colors
Ooh,
are cool. They're good quality shirts too.
nice. All right,
So,
we'll get on that.
hell yeah. Um, well, the EP is out now. If people are listening to this for the first time, it being introduced to In a Perfect Sky, what song would you say, hey, start with this song, even if it's not the new EP, start with this song. This is the best introductory to this band. Listen to that and then go from there.
I would say, I would say, "Lazy for You." That's off. That's the second single we put out off the new EP, and it's also the final track on the new EP. We did a music video for that song that came out back in October, but that song in particular, um, it just I just feel it hits every vibe like if you had like a vibe checklist for In a Perfect Sky, it just kind of like checks off everything. Mellow, soft, acoustic, warmness, and then once the drums kick in, like it just has like this nice little groove to it, and but like still very clean and melodic, but something that you could dance to.
Okay.
So like I would say "Lazy for You" would, if I had to recommend a first In a Perfect Sky song, "Lazy for You."
Okay. Good to know.
And it also helps that it's like my personal favorite off the new EP. Like I knew for a fact when I wrote that song, it's like this needs to be a single and it needs to have a music video. And at the moment, it is our top streamed song on Spotify. So it's like when I saw the numbers and everything, and like the amount of shares, like it just kind of like really made me happy that like, oh wow, my favorite song off this EP so far is the one that's kind of getting the most reception. So it's like, all right,
Nice.
I thought I'm like really happy about that. So yeah,
It,
I would say that would be the first introduction song.
okay. And you've done a couple videos for these songs, right?
Yes, so far. So for this new EP, Names on a Tree. So that was the first single we put out. We did a music video for that. We filmed that in what's the name of the park? Cheesequake National Park in New Jersey. Chris Kanunchak, who directed our very first music video, Summer Heat, he came back to direct that one. And like, I just had this idea of like, hey, let's like, because the song's called Names on a Tree, let's find like a state park or something cool like that, and film in the forest. And he suggested that was like one of the parks he suggested, and the scouting process, like when we got to the park and we're like walking around trying to get some ideas, like where to shoot it. I gotta say, as fun as filming the video was, something about just like scouting the area was just as fun because you know um like there's this corner. I don't want to say it's like a cliff, but like it's like it kind of, if you look at it a certain way you'd think it's a cliff, but then you look over and it's like, oh, it's here's the ground, like
Hmm.
not a cliff, but from a certain angle it looks like a cliff. Like there was a moment where like, ooh, this would be a cool shot, but like it was really fun kind of doing that scouting. And then Lazy for You, we filmed that at the Art Academy in Milton, and uh, the I have Nikki from Renovair. I have her to thank for this video because she booked us a couple times at the Art Academy of Milton, and I always thought the place looked cool, and I'm like, ooh, I'd love to do a video here. And she told me that the owner, Steve Gibson, he is a director. He directed music videos, and it's like, perfect, let's do it. And for that video, it kind of had a bit of a story. A friend of mine, Ariella Gruby, she stars in the video, and she's like listening to the song and dancing along to it. So like it's like, so far out of all the few videos we've done so far, it's been like my favorite video. So my favorite song off the EP, and also my favorite video that we've done. And yeah, no, the like music videos are fun.
Yeah, why are those important to you? Because, obviously it takes time, it takes extra money.
Yeah.
Why are those important to do as part of this project?
For me, so for me personally, I just like I grew up watching MTV,
Oh
like
yeah.
during because like when I got into music, I want to say 2003, 2004, when I wanted to learn how to play guitar. I remember this was still when MTV had like hours of music videos.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember I would always get excited whenever, I had a snow day because,
Hmm.
oh, cool. I would have MTV on. And, that was how I actually got into Blink 182. That was how I discovered Yellowcard. I still remember seeing, they were teasing the new music video from Green Day called American Idiot. And I'm like, and that was the first time I ever heard of Green Day. So like I just remember seeing all these music videos and I thought, these are so cool. Like I just want my own. So like I kind of selfishly, in a good way, selfishly, I wanted music videos really just for myself
Yeah.
because I just kind of grew up like, seeing, music videos.
Part of the
And,
process. Yeah.
yeah, and honestly, like, when you know what idea you want and you just kind of go out there and do it, like it's like it's just as fun as writing music.
Yeah.
Like it like and like I love movies. So like, seeing like a director kind of like work their magic, with Steve Gibson for the Lazy for You video, like I remember um like yeah, I remember him like making like certain shot suggestions and stuff, but like hearing why he wants to do certain shots, I'm just like, I never would have thought of that. And
Yeah.
like it's so cool it's so cool to see. But I just, it's that kind of thing where I just kind of like the idea of having music videos. And then but then on the other side of that, for promoting, I feel like people, like when they see something, like when they actually see the band, whenever they see the singer singing, when they see the drummer playing, like that does kind of help, like the,
Hmm.
the human element of, oh hey, look, these guys are here, they are playing the
Yeah.
song.
They're people, not AI.
Yeah, yeah,
No, and you're right. And it's like that's another aspect. Like you go to a recording studio and work with a producer, and then you have a video done with a producer or a director and stuff like that. Like I was actually in a music video for a band called Don't Panic, and the
I
whole
love those
process,
guys.
yeah, the whole process is amazing. The video I was in was I always screw this up. I always want to say I don't want to screw it up. You think I would know this because I was in the video. Um, I want to say The Long Way.
I'm just gonna watch all their music videos, and if I spot you, I'll do the Leonardo
I
DiCaprio.
know him.
I'll do the Leo point.
Yes.
I know that guy.
Yeah.
Oh man, don't panic. Those guys are amazing.
Yeah.
I so back in 2010, my um the band that I played in high school. We're going way back here. Remember Eleanor Rigby's
Hmm.
in what area was that? Was that German PA?
I think it was German. Yeah.
I the first time we ever played there, it was June of 2010. The headlining band was Jimmy's Chicken Shack,
Okay.
and like I just remember, and then yeah, Joe Caviston was the one running it, and that was the first time I met Joe, and I
God
remember.
damn it. Joe keeps getting in this podcast every fucking time. Sorry.
Shout out to Joe. He yeah, no, that was like the first time I met him, and I remember like I met it was weird because like I met people that I would eventually meet again in the future at that show. So like the one band that played the guitar player, I met him in LCC and I had classes with him, and I'm like, whoa, what a small world.
Hmm.
But don't panic, they were one of the supporting bands at that show, and I just remember being so blown away, like, holy crap, these guys are amazing. And then that same summer, they toured with the Ataris,
Hmm.
and around that time, I just got into the Ataris. I remember I remember um, coming across the So Long Astoria album, and I'm like, these guys are great. And then here I am on Facebook, a band that I just played with is now going to tour with them. I'm like, whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're really good.
Yeah. The video that I was in was Don't Panic, The Long Way.
The
And
long way.
but those guys like are so like good at like Ted is and his brother
Yeah,
Rob is in Bowling for Soup.
nice.
And he was also at one point, or maybe still is, I'm not sure, but he was in Patent Pending as well. But Ted has this he's an artist, right? But he has like these all of his videos are very like well thought out, and he works with great directors, and they're just really well done. The one I
Yeah,
was in, it was the concept was the band got booked to play a show for $10,000, and Ted, the lead singer, was run over by their tour band. So they're like, well, we don't want to miss out on this $10,000, so we are going to weekend at Bernie's Ted to
that's
get through
amazing.
to get through the show
Yeah.
and make their money. It was awesome.
Oh, I gotta check. What's the
And
song called again?
The Long Way.
A long way. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll check that.
I had a pretty decent appearance in it. It was a lot of fun. And people I don't think realize like how much time. Like I mean, I they were there before me. They were there, but they weren't there after me. Maybe to help clean up, but it was a long day. Uh, but and like there's like you record different parts of the videos in different like segments. It's not like, all right, we're gonna start recording here, start to finish. It's like, okay, we're gonna record the maybe the last like the end scene,
Yeah,
second or third or first or whatever it might
like
be.
you're going non-linear.
Yeah, it's such a cool process to be a part of, and it just when you have the ability to when you're creative like that and you work with the right people and then you see it come to life because like all day it's just like all over the place. It's like, all right, we need these people over here now, and then all right, you go sit down and we'll call you when we need you, and an hour later you're back in and or whatever it might be. But then you see it all together, it's like holy shit, like this is amazing. Like
Yeah.
literally the first 15 seconds of that video, like your jaw will drop.
All right.
After we get done, go watch it
I can't wait.
and
And
then
then
send me a message. Let me know what you think.
I'll do the Leo point.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, man, this has been fun.
Yeah.
It's been great to kind of connect with you like on a one-on-one level. You were part of this. You were on the show when we did one with Stay Loud, but that was
Yeah.
obviously with a bunch of people. So I've never really had a chance to talk to you one-on-one like this. So this has been a lot of fun, and I'm excited for you and the new EP,
Thank you.
um and excited to see where the band goes. I like the idea that you're gonna kind of add more pieces to it for different shows and
Yeah.
and yeah, just see what happens with it.
I'm excited. Thank you for having me. No, this feels really good to do.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for. I know we were an hour delayed. I haven't. My wife has not shouted down to me and said, "Hey, we need to go to the ER." So that's a good sign.
That's
So,
always good.
yeah, kids, man, it's always something. Literally always something. I love them, but Jesus, it's like, how much more of my energy can you take from me?
Hey,
But
look, you're pulling through.
yeah, you have to. You have to. And I've got more. It's 11:34. I still have more work to do after this even. So,
All right. Good luck with that.
but buddy, thank you so much. The new EP
Thank
from
you.
In a Perfect Sky is out now. Maybe someday I'll let go. Go check it out. Go stream it. Oh, you actually have CDs available too, right?
Yes,
I didn't
yes,
see that.
I do have physical CDs, and
Hell yeah.
yeah, at from all my future shows, I'll be selling them. And we also have our first EP, so definitely come by. Yeah, more show announcements in the future.
Nice. Even if you buy a CD and then throw it in the garbage, you're still supporting the band. So when I was at that Blue October show, before I met Justin again, and he's like, "Yeah, just go to the merch table, grab whatever you want." I had bought a DVD. I purchased a DVD.
All right.
It was like you can go online, you can like buy it like a digital copy on the website, or whatever. But like I wanted the DVD, and my son, we got him a PS5 last year. So I'm like, all right, well, I can actually watch this at home.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm getting at is just buy it, supporting the band, throw it in the river if you want to. I mean, you should listen to it,
Yeah.
but if you want, you know what, you bought it, you can do with what you want. Throw it in the river if you want to.
Yeah.
Um,
I can't wait for today that I go to like a Salvation Army or what's the other one? Um, the other thrift store, Goodwill.
yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait for the day that I go there and I see one of my CDs or one of my band shirts.
or your
Like,
yard sale.
yeah, it's like, oh hey, look at that.
You're 60 of a cane. Hopefully on a cane at 60. You're 80. You're still trucking 80 years old with a cane. Cane at 80 is pretty good.
With the way that my knees have been now, yeah,
Yeah.
I probably will be. I will be having a cane by the time I'm 60.
Listen, no, I mean, if I'm 80, hopefully I'll make it to 80. If the worst thing I have is a cane at 80, I'm okay.
There you
I'm
go.
all right. Gerry, thank you so much. I'm excited to see what the future holds for In a Perfect Sky. Maybe if
Thank
we
you.
open it up for Yellowcard and Ryan again down the
That
road, that'd be cool.
that I
Who knows?
yeah.
Who
That's
knows?
that's the dream. That's the dream.
Who knows?
But yeah,
We'll see what happens. But thank you so much, and
thank you.
hopefully I'll see you soon.
Definitely. I'll
All right.
see you.
See you.